Hey Brick fans, this is Dave from Brick 101, and today I'm going to show you how to build Godzilla. Having received over 3,700 votes, Godzilla is by far one of the most requested builds I've ever done, and it has been a long time coming. The first request was way back in December 2011 by Gējílā. So Gējílā, you can finally have your wish fulfilled and build the Lego Godzilla of your dreams, as well as all the many other hundreds and hundreds of commenters who have asked for this over the years. Here it is, massive Lego Godzilla, contains probably about 850 pieces, somewhere in that vicinity. I lost count. This is a massive model and one of the most complex builds ever here on Brick 101. Before we get into the building instructions, there's a few announcements I want to make. First and foremost, some exciting news. This set is currently on LEGO Ideas. So if you go to the link in the video description or in the top pinned comment, you can go to LEGO Ideas, log in with your LEGO ID, and vote for this set to become a real LEGO set. If we can get 10,000 votes, then LEGO will actually consider turning this into a LEGO set, and then possibly this will become an amazing LEGO set that you could buy at a store. I did this how to build as a tutorial because that's what I do, but I also realized that it would be really hard to get all of these pieces for most of my viewers, so that's why I took the extra step of turning this into a LEGO Ideas project. So please go and vote. If you are under the age of 13, get somebody else to help you who's a little bit older. They can vote as long as they're 13 or older. So I've known for many years that Godzilla was something a lot of my fans wanted to see. I started trying to build my own Godzilla back in the summer of 2016, and I didn't get very far before I put it in my work in progress bin and just put it aside for a long time. So recently I started working with Mark Larson as a freelance designer. So he did the Bendy and Knuckles builds recently, and after doing those, I tasked him with this big challenge of designing Godzilla. So he did the bulk of the design work here with oversight from me, but I came in and tweaked a few different things like the feet and the arms, a little bit of the head, some of the spine work. But this is probably 90% Mark's design, 10% mine, but it's all here on Brick 101 and LEGO Ideas. So many thanks to Mark for bringing Godzilla to life for all of our awesome Brick 101 fans. The reason I'm releasing this video today of all days is because this is the 9th anniversary of the Brick 101 YouTube channel. So that's right, way back in the misty time of 2009, on February 15th, did I upload my first video to this YouTube channel, not counting my previous YouTube channel, of course. And it's been a wild ride since then. This is now my full-time job, plus I've got an employee. So many thanks to all the fans and subscribers who have supported me along this journey. Now let's take it one step further and make an official LEGO set. Let's do this. So we based our Godzilla design on the original 1954 film, and to kind of show the scale of this Godzilla, I also had Mark design this building here, which is the Ginza Wako building, or Ginza Waco building. In the original 1954 film, there's a shot of Godzilla coming up to this building and knocking off the clock tower. I wonder what time it is. Oh wait, I know exactly what time it is. It's Godzilla time! Crash, 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 crash. So this is kind of to scale, kind of a micro scale build here. A relative size of a person might be one of these tiny little Lego trophy people, sometimes called microfigures. You can see down there, or next to Godzilla's foot, for optimal smushing. For the ideas set, we didn't go with this building because it ended up being a lot more pieces than I originally anticipated. I can do a how to build on this building down the line. If you want to see that, let me know in the comments. So instead of that, we focused on this micro scale train here. 3 little cars that have some flexibility. You can have Godzilla stomp on them, or you can put it in Godzilla's mouth. Taking off one of the wheel segments makes that nice and easy. And then you can twist this to kind of fit in Godzilla's hand over there. And you've got a chompy train experience for Godzilla. Oop. Come on, Godzilla, work with me here. There we go. There we go. Chomp, 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 delicious train. So Godzilla's got a lot of posability. The legs have a lot of freedom to move around at the hips and a little bit at the knees. We kept the ankles locked in place. The tail is made up of 5 different segments, all of which are connected by ball joints, so they can bend in lots of interesting ways. Pose the tail up, down, to the side. Lots of great stuff there. The arms have 3 hinges, a shoulder, elbow, wrist, as well as finger joints. So lots of different poses you can get from those arms. Flappy Godzilla. The head doesn't swivel or hinge at the neck. That was just a little bit too hard to get in while still having it be stable, but it does have a really nice jaw that can chomp on things. And there's also a place where you can connect plate with clip and you can attach like a fire piece if you want to give Godzilla like atomic breath. I know the atomic breath doesn't necessarily look like a little flame, but that was the best I could do given kind of what Lego elements are out there, just as a simple little one-piece thing coming out of the mouth. So yeah, lots of great detail all along this Godzilla. I'll talk about it piece by piece as I do the build, which is what we're going to start doing right after this short commercial break. Okay, so let's start by building Godzilla's lower jaw. So we're going to start with a Travis brick, one of my favorite pieces. Dark gray is the color you're going to want, and for most of the pieces in this build, in fact. And then you're going to take an Erling brick and put that on the bottom. That gives us 2 studs that are spaced nicely apart to connect this 1x2 plate with clip on the end. And we'll put a 1x1 tile down here. And going forward off the Travis brick, I'm using red round plates. They could also be square. They don't have to be red. That just kind of makes it look like the inside of a mouth a little bit. And then a Travis brick going forward. On the bottom here, we're going to take one of these cheese grater slopes. Fill that in. And on the very front, we're going to stick a 1x2 plate. That's centered on that, so there'll be a little bit of wiggle, but not too much. Now we're going to build the sides of the lower jaw. So we're going to build 2 of these things in mirror. So you're going to want a 1x2 plate with 3 teeth in white and a dark gray 1x2 plate. Line those up. Level on top of that, we're going to take a 2 long wing plate on that gray plate. Take a 1x2 curvy downward slope. That'll connect it to the teeth. And then a square tile and a round plate. Keep dropping everything. And this is only the beginning. Alright, so you're going to build 2 of those that are mirror images of each other. Voila, voila. And then this one goes on this side, and this one goes on that side. So this is, again, the bottom jaw, so we've got teeth. You can see a little bit of the white showing through from the bottom of the jaw. There's not a lot that could be done about that. Theoretically, you could try to cover this all up, but it's not an easy place to work in. Because of this being a weird amount of, it's not like a standard Lego distance here, but this piece, since it can kind of move wherever you want, it shimmies down. As long as you don't look at it from below, looks pretty good. But there we go, bottom jaw, off to a great start on our Godzilla build. Okay, now let's build the top of the head. Gonna start with a 1x2 plate with handle on the end in dark gray. Gonna attach a 1x1 clip to it over there and just let that hang out. Then a gray Erling brick back here. Our first light gray piece of the build, a 1x1 plate with clip on top. A little bit of the spine on Godzilla's head. Then 2 plates of any color and shape. I'm just using red because I was already in that mode. This is a 1x2 brick with studs on 2 sides. I don't have a name for this brick. Fortunately, it doesn't come in dark gray, but black works pretty well here. It's mostly hidden. Then I'm using a red headlight brick here. That, again, a little bit of this will show as like the inside of the jaw, so that's why I'm using red. Gonna connect all of this with a 1x4 plate. Color doesn't matter, it'll be really hidden. I'm using orange for fun. Moving forward, some red plates, square or circle, doesn't matter. Then a Travis brick, using dark gray again, and our friendly neighborhood 1x2 plate on the front. Building up the next layer, we'll use a jumper plate on top of the Travis brick and a cheese slope. Then we will take a 1x3 plate and a jumper and connect those like so. So that jumper is not connected to anything below, but is held on nicely above and does have some stability there. Then we'll put a cheese slope there. Then we'll build up a 1x2 plate, 1x1 plate, and curvy downward slope to fill in there. Here we're going to take a headlight brick. This is going to be an interesting little build here. Build a 1x1 plate with clip on top of it. Then off the back we'll take a plate with clip like that, another plate, and then a light gray plate with clip like this, and stick it all back there. So we've got 4 little spines that are kind of curving around the head there. So that is the inside of the top of the head. And now, similar to what we did for the sides of the lower jaw, we'll build 2 mirrored sides for the top, starting with 2 of these white 1x2 plates with 3 teeth. Then this cut off 3x3 plate, and this is a 1x2 to 1x2 bracket that goes up. Those go like so. And then up here we're going to connect these with a corner plate. Going to connect these with a 1x2 curvy downward slope, and these with a 2x2 curvy downward slope. So should be looking like that so far. 1x1 tile on the front there, round plate back here. Then we'll do a black round plate in the socket here, and then one of these angry eyes for the eye, and this thing on top, which really gets the shape of the head above the eye, is this spoiler fin piece. It's a 1x2 curvy finny piece. I'll try to put the exact part. It's a weird 1x2 curvy finny piece. You'll know it if you have it. So now you have 2 halves of the head because you've built 2 of these that mirror perfectly and line up. Here's just a quick look at the other side to remind you how they go. Okay, so now you can attach those sides of the head to the middle, like that and that. Got a nice top of the head going. And then just to build this a little bit so you can actually connect the upper and lower jaw, take a 1x2 plate with handle and a 1x2 plate. Those are going to connect right there. And we'll do a jumper plate right here, preparing for what comes below. And then the bottom jaw can connect right there and goes like so. We'll build down a neck here, But if you don't have a lot of pieces, this might be all you build of Godzilla, just a nice little chompy head. Chomp, 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 chomp. Oh no, it's Godzilla versus Rodan. I thought your name was Radon. No, that was just in the original. They changed it to Rodan. Radon? No, Rodan. Are we friends or enemies? I forget. We're friends. Oh, okay, come in for a hug, friend. Haha, I tricked you! Haha, I win. Through trickery. I'm a pterodactyl. Okay, to start off, we're gonna have a 2x2 square plate. This is for the bottom of the neck. Next, we're gonna take a 1x2 Technic brick with 2 holes and then fill those holes with half pins. Or alternatively, if you have a 1x2 brick with studs on 2 sides in dark gray, that can work. Or 1x1 bricks with stud on 1 side in dark gray. I'm using this because I ran out of a lot of the other type of snot bricks, so had to resort to Technic bricks with pins, but it does work in certain places throughout the build to use Technic bricks with pins. Building up the front, 1x2 plate, 1x2 jumper, and then a 1x2 upward slope. On the back, we will do a 1x2 to 2x2 bracket, then a 1x2 plate, then 2 1x1 bricks with studs on 1 side, each facing out, and then another 1x2 to 2x2 bracket. Now for each side, we will build a little thing that will be mirrored, so a corner plate plus a 1x2 plate connected by a corner plate, so so build 2 of those, which are mirrored, and then connect one and the other, and now we have a little neck. And at this point, you can attach the head to the neck, so you'll see this jumper plate lines up there, and that lines up above the upward slope, and this thing just dangles off by itself. It's never going to connect to anything, spoiler alert, but now you can see with the neck in place, it stops the lower jaw from opening all the way, but there is a nice range of motion there for chomping. You can also, this is getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, take a 1x1 plate with clip and attach a big flame if you want to have Godzilla's atomic fire breath. Doesn't show up great against the yellow background since it's transparent orange, but that is a nice flame piece that works for fire breath. Atomic breath, sorry. Now go ahead and put the head and neck to the side and totally forget about it for a long time, because now it's on to the torso. Okay, so this is the part of the build where you'll start to see, whoa, there's some really crazy techniques going on in this, / oh my gosh, there's no way I'll ever have the pieces to build this. So you're welcome / I'm sorry. So start with a 2x10 plate in dark gray, and then flip it upside down. Over here, we're going to take 1x1 bricks with stud on 1 side, or this could be a 1x2 or one of those Technic doohickeys we did earlier. This is going to be a 1x2 Technic brick with 1 hole with a half pin inside of it. Then we're going to do something crazy. So we'll get a gray headlight brick and then 6 black headlight bricks. And then we will line up the black headlight bricks like so. Erling to Erling to Erling to Erling to Erling to Erling to Erling. So yeah, that's a kind of crazy combination, and put the gray ones on the end. So you should have something that looks like this, and then you are going to build those on here so that there's some studs facing up and forward, and oh my gosh, what's going on? And then take some 1x2 plates of any color, I'm using red, and fill in those gaps. And look how nice and neatly those studs line up with the bottom of the bricks. This was all Mark's doing here, this stud reversal technique in the core of Godzilla. We're just getting started. Okay, so now you're going to take that big long thing you made and take a 2x4 plate and magically have that hover next to it. Then, building on top of the 2x4 plate, We'll do some corner plates, and then a nice big 4x6, which will connect us. And then going forward, you'll cover all of that up with a 2x6, and these will magically hover over there for a while. Next layer, we will do a 2x6 brick in the back, then a 2x6 plate, and up here we can have some things not hover. So this is a 1x2 brick with 2 studs on the side. This will be entirely hidden, so any color is good to go there. Filling back here, we'll do a 1x4 plate, a 1x1 plate, and then a 1x1 plate. These could be this could be a 1x2 and a 1x3. I just ran out of 1x3 plates, so that's where I moved to 1x4s. Do the same thing on the other side. Up at the front, we'll do a 1x2 and then another one of these fun wingy spoilery pieces there, and just remember that these are magically floating in the air for a little bit. Continuing up, we'll take another 2x6 plate, fit it in there, and a 1x2 plate. Next layer, we will start with a 2x2, then 2 2x3s, which will catch our magical floating pieces and attach them. So we've got a 1x2 brick with studs on 2 sides, and then I just had some 1x1s over here. Color really shouldn't matter on these pieces. Then we have a 2x2 plate, fits in there very nicely. And up here we have some 1x1 rounds and then some corner plates going down this way. And if we swing down here, we can put some 1x1 bricks here and some 2x3 plates stacked on top of each other to fill these gaps here. Did I say 2x3? I meant 1x3. Now to finish off the top, we'll take a nice big 4x6 plate here, fill in all of that, and then a 2x3 here. Then we will take some 1x1 studs here, and a 1x4 going down here. Then a 2x4 here, and a 2x6 all the way down. And go ahead and add some 1x1 round studs on that 2x6. And a 1x4 with some studs on it. And we'll add some studs on this 1x4 to match. And add some studs over there. And you are going to run out of gray 1x1 round plates or studs. And a 2x4 plate there. Now, doesn't that look like a lovely torso? If you are getting antsy at this point, you can connect the head and neck to the beginning of the torso, though it won't do you a lot of good because we're going to build a whole thing that'll further connect them, but FYI, this is what it would look like if you put everything together at this point. Jump, 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 jump. But how will Godzilla fare versus one of his most iconic enemies, Mothra? Hey, come down there. I can't get you up in the air. No, I'm just gonna stay up here and knock you away with my butterfly flapping. Woo! No, I'm doomed. Mothra wins. Okay, now we're gonna fill in one side along here. So we'll start with a 1x4 plate going under there. Then a 1x2 brick with 2 studs. Then a 1x1 brick with 1 stud, and then a 1x2 plate. And then we'll take one of these 2x2 bricks with ball joints. Fast forwarding a little bit, I know that if this gets made into a LEGO Ideas set and gets through the process, this is one place where LEGO will inevitably change this ball joint to a click hinge joint because it's more stable. All I ask, future LEGO designer, is that you please at least make it an all gray joint rather than having that be ugly and black, that piece there. like that. Don't do that. Okay, but for now, ball joints. 1x2 brick in the back there. Going along here, we'll do a 1x2 plate and a 1x1, because again, I'm out of 1x3s. Then some bricks with studs, 1x2 or two 1x1s. A 1x2 plate. I'm doing one of these Technic bricks with half pins, because I think a little bit of this shows up, so I wanted it to be dark gray. And then 1x4 plate, 1x2 plate, 1x1 to just connect everything along here. Now let's do the mirror image on the other side. Start with a 1x4 plate, then fill in with some bricks with stud on the side. This one down here should be gray, but those can be any color. Then a 1x2 plate. Then a nice big 2x2 with ball joint. And then going back through here, we'll do some bricks with stud on the side. A 1x2 plate. One of these Technic doubles. Then a 1x2 with a 1x1, and then finishing off this we'll do 1x4, 1x2, 1x1, car horn in the background. So yeah, this is what your torso should look like now. Okay, now let's build up even more on the side. So start up here with this 2x4 plate. Then we'll take a 1x2 plate, like so, and some 1x1s right here and right here. And if you're antsy, you can go ahead and attach that. Oop, move some pieces over there. Then a 2x2 and a 2x3 connected by a 2x3. And then a 1x1, and down here some round plates. And that will connect like so. Up here, a 1x6, 1x4, 2x4, and a 1x2. Then connect those with a 2x3 and a 1x3, and then a 2x3, like so, and then take 6 little studs and connect them there, 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 and there. And then all of this connects on here. So, like that. So these three are lining up with those three. So you can see some nice shaping, getting a nice curved shape without actually using curved pieces. Then we're going to do some of the same on the other side. 2x4, the 1x2, and some 1x1 plates. 2x2 and a 2x3, connected by a 2x3, the 1x1 stud, 1x2, and a dot like that. And those go in those positions. And for the last piece, start with a 2x4, put some studs on it right there and there, 1x6, stud right there, 1x4 with a stud on the end, and a 1x2. Connect them all with a 2x3 with one little stud on it. Fill this area in with some plate, and put a 2x3 with a stud on it, like so. And then all of this connects these 3 studs on those 3 studs. So what you have should look something like this at this point in your build. It's Godzilla versus King Ghidorah. Aren't you supposed to have 3 heads? Yeah, but one of them took a vacation, so there's only 2 here right now. Oh, okay. Boink, boink. Ah, our eyes. Doom. Godzilla wins. Doo-doo-doo-doo. These last 2 pieces we're building here will be where the arms connect. So you'll need some 2x4 Technic plates. Those are essential for this technique here. So get one of those like that, and we're going to overlay another one like so, and build a 1x2 plate with one of those edges on it. And then down here we'll take a 1x2 and a 1x1, then a 1x2, 1x2 and a 1x1. Fill in all of that like so, and then go right there and right there, and oh no, right here. And then you'll need one of these 2x2 round tiles with a hole through it. So here is where you'll be able to connect a peg later. I should have built these mirrored, but I built them the same way. So to quickly fix that, I'll just flip all of this around. It's like I never messed up. It's magical and stuff. Alright, so build 2 of those so they're mirrored nicely. Make sure there's nice clean holes through there. Knock over something in the background to make some noise. Now going back to our torso, there should be that lonely little half pin there. And now that is going to go exactly into the middle of that hole here. If I got this right. Or like this, sorry. The middle, this one goes on this side. Yes, so that lines up nice and smooth. And that one goes like that. So there's a little bit that jumps off the back, like so. But yeah, overall you can see this nice torso shaping. Mark did a really great job doing this kind of outward building style to make a nice kind of realistic, natural, smooth, curviness with just kind of the rectangular shapes. But obviously some of those curved studs just adding a little different texture in there as well. I think this is looking pretty good. Oh yeah, and you can also have the neck and head on now if you're so inclined. And now you've got just kind of a weird Godzilla head torso thing. Kind of like one of those birds that bobbles, or a bowling pin. Godzilla bowling pin. Okay, now we're going to start building the spine. So, start out with a, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 long 2x14 plate, and then a 2x2 plate. I guess this could be a 2x16 plate if you're so inclined, and then a 2x3 plate. Connect a bunch of those with a 4x6 plate, so they all work together nicely. Then another 4x6, then a 2x4, then a whole bunch of 1x2 jumpers. Next level, jumper those jumpers. Is that right? No, jumper these jumpers, and then jumper those plates, and then while you're at it, just jumper those jumpers. So then a 2x14 plate fills this nicely, and then some 1x4s and 1x8s. Fill the rest over here. And let's just add these 2 jumpers right here. So many fun little jumpers. Okay, now let's continue building up. We'll use a 4x4 plate plus a 4x8 plate, or whatever else you have to fill in that whole area with plate. Next level, we'll take this 2x2 brick with a ball joint. Put that on there, put some jumpers around that, have another big 4x8 plate across here, then some jumpers up front, and a 2x2 plate. Next level, take a 1x6 plate and a jumper, cross one side, do a 2x8 plate and a 1x2 plate, and then another 1x6 and another jumper. Next level. These jumpers go... no, one jumper here, right? I've lost track of my jumpers. Some jumpers here. This goes here. This goes here. 2x2. I think this is a jumper here. Up here, we're going to do a 2x4 back here. Jumper here, and two jumpers there, and then a 2x2 big jumper on the back, so we should be all jumpered up here. Alright, now this is one of my favorite parts of the whole build, doing these brick-built spine details. Start out with a 1x2 upward slope in light gray, then take a light gray cheese slope, a 1x1 plate, and a light gray cheese slope. So that's our first little spine detail, goes on that big 2x2 jumper. Next one, get some 1x2 plates in dark gray, then some of these 1x2, then some of these 1x1 bricks with studs on two sides, two of those. Then we're going to take two light gray upward slopes, do a downward slope on top of those. Then this side gets a cheese slope and a cheese slope, and this side gets a plate and a cheese slope. So this spine goes there on those two jumper plates. Next, tiny little spine, 1x1 headlight brick, the cheese slope going up and cheese slope going down like that. This goes on that jumper plate. Next up, two 1x2 plates, two more of those bricks with studs on both sides. Upward slope, 1x1 plate, upward slope, 1x1 plate, cheese slope, 1x3 plate, downward slope, cheese slope, two 1x1 plates, and a cheese slope. That goes there. Next one, two 1x2 plates, two more of these bricks with studs on both sides, 1x1 brick in light gray, upward slope, downward slope to combine them, and then cheese slope, goes on those two jumper plates. Then another one of these tiny spines, headlight brick with two cheese slopes going up and down, and then a cheese slope with a 1x1 dark gray plate right there, and just a lone cheese slope here. Really great central spine. I love all the detail on this. Oop, push that all the way. Cool stuff. Now, one of my favorite details that Mark came up with was taking one of these shield pieces, you might recognize them from Nexo Knights. Ideally this piece would be dark gray, but this piece doesn't exist in that color yet, so we went with flat silver as the next best second. And then you take those and you put those along the spines, and notice how it cuts into the light gray area a little bit while seeming to continue the dark gray up. That's kind of how Godzilla's spines look, is that they've got kind of light gray around dark gray interiors. So this was a nice way of just cutting up in there a little bit. Looks great. Again, these are hard to come by in flat silver. Hopefully, if this gets made into a set, they'll change that to dark gray. If you don't have those, you can also just put 2x2 tiles here. It doesn't have the same effect, but it's kind of nice. But yeah, these Nexonite shields, pentagons, just look delightful. So delightful. Spines. Okay, now we're going to build 2 sets of side spines, so make 2 sets of what we're doing here. So this is a 1x1 plate with clip, 1x1 dark gray plate with a light gray cheese slope, 1x1 headlight brick with 2 cheese slopes, one like so, and one like so. Then a 1x1 dark gray plate with a light gray upward slope, a cheese slope, a plate, and a cheese slope. And then a headlight brick with 2 cheese slopes, one going down and going up. And then a 1x1 plate with clip. Put 1 set on this side. So this one goes on the jumper, this goes on that spot, this one goes on this jumper, that jumper, this jumper, flip it around, this one's gonna go here, here. I really like all these spines. Have I said that enough? Spines are delightful, they're my friend. And this one goes here. And last but not least there. So now you have this really delightful looking spiny back piece for Godzilla. So now you can actually connect this whole back spine to the torso and neck head. I took a couple spines off just to give myself better places to push and grip, but basically this thing is going to line up with these things back on the neck. And there'll be a few connection points down there from the reversal we did earlier. So you're going to line it up, slot it between those spots there, carefully support the neck as you push this together from the other side. And it's going to be a little bit of a tight fit in some spots, so just carefully push without rupturing anything. Feels nice and connected now. And then anything that fell off or that you took off, you can reattach. So let's put that back on. Spine in the back. And little spines in the front. And you should have a really nice Godzilla head and torso. You can see the spines running from the head down the neck all the way through the back, looking pretty cool and spiny. And we've got a few different connection points for the tail, for the legs, and for the arms, all of which we will now start building. Rah, 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 spikes, spikes, spikes. Okay, now let's build Godzilla's arms. So we're going to start with a 1x2 plate with handle on it, and you want the handle that's broken up into segments like this. And then a 1x2 ball hinge grabber connector, and a 1x2 plate on top of that. For the fingers, we're going to use these bar to clip connectors in dark gray, paired with these small white teeth or claws. 3 of those on the plate with handle, and then the last one will be connected with a 1x1 white round plate with a hole in it, and then just a single claw piece. So you're going to build 2 of those, and the only difference is where you put the thumb piece on them. So mirror them like so. For the middle arm segment, start with a 1x2 plate. then a 1x2 to 1x2 bracket, one of these 1x2 ball and grabber connector pieces, mixel joints, everybody's good friend, then a 1x2 plate, and then some 1x1 round plates here and here. So those will be the same for both arms. No mirroring necessary. Or you can mirror, but they're identical. How did I have that? Maybe more like this. Last but not least, build up the upper arm segment. Start with a 2x2 under tile, and then put that on a 2x2 plate. Then we're going to use another one of these 1x2 ball and grabber mixel joints. And you can go ahead and get one of these Technic pin to ball joint pieces and a 1x3 plate. You're going to be building another one of these that's mirrored, so if you want to start doing that, you can do so. Next level up, 2x2 connects all of that, and a 1x1. Then a 2x3 and a corner plate at the top, remembering to mirror on the opposite one, and some 1x1 round plates, like so. Now you can go ahead and connect each of those to the lower arm segments, and you've got some complete Godzilla arms. Rawr, I'm gonna smash something. Rawr. And now you can go ahead and connect those arms to the torso, remembering those 2x2 round tiles with holes that we left for them. Put one on that side and one on the other side. They've got a lot of flexibility. They can rotate around that pin, bend on that mixel joint, this mixel joint, that mixel joint. The fingers can clasp if you want Godzilla to grab something, or just keep them open for maximum smashing. And sometimes a finger falls off, but you can just simply reattach it. Arms of Doom. Oh, hey, I'm the original model Dave did to try and sketch out the size Godzilla should be. Looks like I've gotten a lot bigger since then. You mean nothing to me now! Get away! I crush everything. Stomp, stomp, stomp. So now let's move on to building one of Godzilla's legs. We're going to start with the right leg and start at the bottom with the foot. Start with a 2x3 plate, a corner plate, and a 1x2 plate. Line those up nice and neatly. Connect these two back ones with a 1x3 plate and a 1x2 to 1x2 bracket. On the front, get some of these lovely, lovely 1x1 round-ish plates with a handle. They only come in black right now as far as Godzilla relevant colors, but hopefully we'll get them in dark gray, maybe for this future set. Hint, hint, Lego, Lego. And put 4 of them around the 2x3 plate, 3 going forward, 1 going off to the side. And then fill this area in with some 1x1 round plates so they don't interfere with the ability of these to move. There are some fancy new 1x2 rounded plates, so theoretically those could be used here connecting backwards, but I don't have those. Again, a possible thing they could do differently in the official set. Take a 2x3 plate here and a 1x4 plate and a 1x1 back here. For the front, a 1x2 bracket and a 1x2 curvy downward slope, and go ahead and put a 1x1 round plate over here. Back here we're going to take some click hinges, 1x2 click hinge plate with the click hinge pointing up. Connect those securely to the foot with a 2x2 downward curvy slope. Do a 1x2 plate over here. Finish this area in with a 1x1 tile. Do a 1x2 to 2, then get a 1x2 to 2x2 bracket for the side over here. Oh, you know what? This is supposed to be actually a 1x1 plate and a 1x1 tile that go into that slot here. This round plate can go off the back of that bracket there. And then for the toes, you're going to get 4 1x1 gray plates like this and 4 of these 1x1 tooth pieces. Connect those on and connect each of those to one of those toe slots. And what's nice about this is you can, rather than just having the toes exactly aligned to a 90-degree grid, you can cheat them all out a little bit to really make kind of what looks like the Godzilla footprint in terms of how the toes are aligned. So that's what's really great about using those 1x1 rounded plates. Here's another approach I tried for the Godzilla foot, using one of these 1x2 plates with the angled handles, then using pinch bot arms going into a cylinder brick, and then using 1x1 round plates with holes in them to connect some of those claw pieces. So different idea there. You could also try, if you don't have a lot of these pieces, to make the foot like so. Okay, to build the middle leg section, start with a 2x4 plate, put that on top of another 2x4 plate, and then a 2x2 plate underneath that. Then get 2 of our friendly neighborhood round undertiles, put those on the bottom. Next, level up, we'll take a 2x2 ball joint grabber, put that up there, and then some of these 1x2 click hinge grabbers, like so. Connect all of that very nicely with a 2x4 plate, and then get 4 of these 1x2 to 2x2 brackets and cover all around. And on top, then we're going to take a 2x4 plate, a 2x3 plate, and some dots going up. 1, 2, a 3. Crunch. Okay, now we'll build some sides for the middle leg section. So take some 1x4 plates and a 1x2 plate, connect those with a 2x3 plate, and then we're going to place that like so on here and do a round stud there and a round plate there. On the opposite side, we will do a 2x4 with a 1x4 connected by a 2x3 plate, and then cover up with some studs, one here, one down here, and here. Connect that all and then fill in that empty gap with a round plate. So you can see these are just adding kind of nice texture to Godzilla's leg here. They don't have to be in these exact spots, but that's just where we did them. And now for those of you who love connecting sub-builds as soon as possible, you can connect the click hinges here to the click hinges here. And the way these are connected, they can't actually hinge at all. That was intentional. I was just using this as a way to change the angle of the foot from here to there. So it's not a really usable ankle joint. It was just meant to connect these pieces at 90 degrees. Okay, now let's build the top leg segment. Start with a 4x4 plate. Put 1, 2, 3 undertiles on the bottom, like so. Next, level up, 1x4 plates, some 2x2 ball joint pieces, ball joint and grabber, and then some 1x4 bricks with 4 studs on the side, and a 2x4 plate to top that off. Now on top of that, we're going to take a 2x3 plate, head it out that way, then a corner plate with a 1x1 round plate on top of it, going that way, then a 4x4 plate with some studs pre-attached, going here, then a 2x6 with some studs on it already, and then a 1x2 and a little stud down there. And we still have some sides to do, but pretty good start. Okay, to finish off the sides, we'll take a 2x4, 1x4, and a 1x1 round plate. Connect that over there. Over here, take a 2x3, 1x2, 1x3 curvy downward slope. Connects those up. Next level, we'll do a 1x2 plate up here to connect those. A 1x2 plate next to that, and then a 1x2 to 2x2 bracket. Connect all of this with a 2x2 plate with a stud hanging out on top, and we'll go ahead and put another stud right there. And then last but not least, take a 2x2 curvy downward slope and a 1x2 plate, connect that in here. Okay, now that you've built this segment, that can attach on here, lining up like so. And we're also going to go back to our middle leg segment because I got one part of that wrong. So this 2x4 with 2x3 and all those studs on it should move up one like this. Then when you connect this ball joint here, like so, this curvy piece here will act as like a kind of kneecap that prevents you from bending this too far out of kind of the desired position of the leg. So now you've got a full functioning leg. Stomp, stomp, stomp. And you could go ahead and attach that leg to Godzilla's body if you're feeling it already. And then you've got a one-legged Godzilla who can hop around on one leg. So the left leg is going to be a mirror image of the right leg, but that's a lot of stuff for me to just tell you to go build a mirror image of what we just built. So I will show the whole left leg, but I'm going to go through it pretty quickly. 2x3, 1x2 corner plate. Connect these with a 1x3 bracket. All these fun little 1x1 rounded with handles. Fill this in with round plates. 1x4 all along the side, 2x3, 1x1. Back here, click hinges, curvy slope and bracket, bloop bloop, 1x2 plate, and put a stud up there, bracket. Something I forgot on the other foot is a 1x2 tile here. Apologies. What else? Oh yeah, a 1x1 plate and tile fits in here. These plates with clip and the tooth piece for the 4 toes. And a stud back here. Middle leg, 2x4 and 2x4 on a 2x2 and some under tiles. 2x2 ball joint grabber, 1x2 click hinge grabbers, 2x4 bracket, 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 bracket. And then, remembering this time, 2x4 and 2x3 covered with some lovely bonus studs, and offset that one, which is what I did wrong last time, because I put it down there instead. Now the sides of the middle leg, 2x4 with a stud, 1x4 with a stud, 2x3 with a stud, click, click, clack. All of that connects on like so, plus a stud. On the other side, 1x4, 1x2, 1x4 with a stud, 2x3 makes them all friends, connects on, and 1x1 round plate. And then this can click into here, and now that there's a tile here, it is even better at not moving at all and not hinging. Better ankle. Center of the upper leg, 4x4. Under tile times 3, 2, 3. Flippy flop. 1x4, 1x4. Ball joint and grabber. 1x4 with studs times 2, and a 2x4. Wacha! For the top, 4x4 with some studs, corner plate, and 2x3 with studs, 2x6 with studs, 1x2 stud free. And then this all connects like so. To the sides, 2x4 with a stud, 1x4, hookah buka, 2x3, 1x2, 1x3 curvy downward slope, 1x2 with a stud, 1x2 to 2x2 bracket, 1x2, 2x2 with a fun stud, and a 2x2 curvy slope with a 1x2 plate. And all of that lines up like so. And then all of that connects into the middle leg like so. And that is the little kind of knee that prevents it from bending too far forward. So now we can connect this one onto the body down here. And Godzilla can actually kind of balance without the tail. It's a little bit tricky. But the nice thing is, since Godzilla was basically just a human standing upright in a suit, Godzilla kind of stands like a human, pretty upright. So center of gravity is not too bad to position over two legs. It's a lot easier to do once you add the tail on, but if you play with it, you can have a tailless Godzilla kind of stand. Let's see. Huzzah! La-di-da-di-da, I'm just a cute little microscale train, just minding my own business. Now your business is my business, and it's stomp business. Stomp. Godzilla. Okay, so we're getting close to the finish line. Let's move on to the tail. So for the first tail segment, start with a 2x6 light gray brick. We took some creative liberties here and made the underside of Godzilla's tail a lighter gray because it just added some contrast. Line up some bricks with studs on the side, all along the side of that on both sides. Connect them all with 1x6 plates in dark gray and center a 2x4 plate there. Connect it all on the bottom with some lovely, lovely light gray under tile, or boat tiles as they are sometimes referred to as by something. Words failing me. Long build. Alright, all connected with our lovely under tiles. So now you can move it around like a boat. 4x4 plate. Next level, 1x4 brick with stud on side. 2 of those, and then a ball joint and a ball joint grabber. Very important pieces. Now, on top of that, I'm going to take some corner plates. Is this how this goes? Yeah. And a 2x4 and some corner plates. Okay, on top of that, we will do some dainty little cheese slopes, a jumper plate, and a 2x4 that goes and covers up the top of that a little bit. Then some of these 1x2 plates with clip on top in light gray. Back here, some cheese slopes making a little kind of triangle shape. Dirt, dirt. More cheese slopes here. And on top of this, we'll do a headlight brick with cheese slopes like so, and make that all nice and spiky. Finishing off this tail segment, get some of these wing plates that are 3 long. You'll want 2 in each direction. Cover up one of them with a stud. We're going to be mirroring this. Some 2x3 plates, one of them with a stud. Then a 1x4 plate connecting these 3, and a 1x4 plate with a stud connecting those. So make a mirror image of that. Mirror images. And then these are going to go like so. This one on that side, and this one on that side. Though there's not much difference unless you're paying very close attention. Then 2 2x2 jumpers, a 1x3 plate. I'm talking like this. It's so great. A 1x2 with a clip there, 1x1 with clip, and 1x1 with clip. This technically could just be a 1x1 with clip and then a 1x1 plate, but this saves one piece, so we do it that way. And that fits on there. First tail segment ready to go. You can attach it to the tail spot on the back of Godzilla and bend it up into position. Doo-doo-doo-doo. And now you can have Godzilla kind of chillax just with that first section of the tail segment, kind of like Godzilla's sitting down. He's got one of those weird like tripod seats that's just like one thing sticking out the back, just hanging out, chilling like a villain. For segment number 2, start with a 2x4 plate, light gray, some undertiles on the bottom of that, because everything gets an undertile on the tail, and then some 1x2 to 1x2 brackets that hang down, all of those in light gray. La-di-da. Then a 2x4 plate, and some whatchamacallums, ball joints and grabbers, and then some 1x2 to 2x2 brackets in dark gray, and everything should line up nicely with the brackets. Delightful. Okay, to finish off the top, we'll do a 2x2 jumper, some 1x2 jumpers, then a jumper on the jumpers, some 1x1 dark gray plates, and then plate with clip in light gray, and a cheese slope on the top. On the sides, we'll take some 2x3 plates and a 1x3 plate, put a couple studs on there, connect them with a 1x3 with a stud, and a 1x2 with a stud, and then make a mirror image of those. Are these mirror images? Okay, make 2 mirror images, or don't, doesn't matter a whole lot. And then you're gonna have them like that so that the extra bit hangs off towards the ball joint and away from the grabber. And you can now attach this to the first tail segment connecting the grabber to the ball joint on the first tail segment. Voila! Okay, tail segment number 3, 2x4 light gray and some undertiles. Then 2 grabbers as opposed to ball joints, just the grabbers this time. Then our favorite 1x2 to 2x2 dark gray brackets. Top it off with some double 2x2 jumpers, and then 2 light gray plates with clip on top, one of which has a dark gray plate under it. Some 2x4 plates decorated with some studs, and click those on. Make them mirror images if that makes you happy. And this all can click on to tail segment number 2. Get one of these double ball joints, and underneath a 2x2 light gray and a 2x2 undertile. On top, some of those brackets and a 2x2 jumper and one of those nice little light gray plates with clips. And then take some 2x3 plates, maybe add a stud on for fun, and clip those on. This one is going to clip on with the overhang bit pointing towards the previous tail segment, and we've just got one tail segment to go. We've made it! The final tail segment, the last part to build for Godzilla. Okay, undertile. 1x2 to 2x2 bracket that goes up. 1x2 plate. Then a 2x2 grabber piece. Some of those dark gray brackets. On top, a jumper of course, and one of those plates with clips. Here we can do some 2x3 plates, again with just like a fancy stud on them. And to finish it off, 2x2 cone, 1x1 cone, and the coup de grace, a tiny little silvery tooth piece to just give a little bit of character to the back of the tail. Dun, 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 dun. And then this connects on to the back of the tail, and it is done. Alright, so now you should have a Godzilla that looks like this, or maybe it's rainbow colored because you didn't have that much dark gray. But yeah, it's really nice and posable. The tail can bend in a variety of directions because of all those ball joints. I like to curve it forward. Whoop! Broke a couple things off there. And there's some posability to the legs. They can kick out to the side. There's a little bit of movement in the knee joint. And the toes are really nice because you can always push them down to make it a stable surface. So Godzilla can do squats and can definitely walk for destroying things. The arms can reach up over the heads. You know, we could have Godzilla jumping jacks. Got the movable jaw. Definitely pretty posable, but also pretty stable build. I definitely tried to make this as stable as possible while still looking aesthetically pleasing, because I do want it to become an official Lego set. So tried to keep it close to what a Lego set would be, and I think any Lego designer that ends up having to be tasked with turning this to official Lego set won't have to make too many ridiculous changes. Anyway, thank you for watching this whole video. If you're still here, you are truly a Brick fan. Thank you so much. Please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to Brick 101. Please go vote for this on LEGO Ideas and check out all my other how to build videos here on Brick 101.